What's up YouTube? Danny Hype here with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today's video is a deck profile of the deck I used at the latest ARG regional this past weekend in San Jose. It's my SS3 Goku red-yellow deck. Out of 500 players, I managed to make it to day 2, making top 32 as the 26th seed. My record during the event was 7-2, so I had a blast on day 1. Going into day 2, I was pretty nervous, but I managed to break my curse of winning the first round of Top Cut, which I haven't been able to do in the past few events. Then the next round I actually got to play against Anthony Hernandez on stream, and I cannot tell you how great it was to beat a high caliber player like that on stream, especially him. You know, me and him are friends and stuff like that, but you know, it's always sweet to beat Anthony, especially on stream. And then I ended up getting bounced in round 8 to another 8 player. Unfortunately, I lost 2-1 there, but overall it was a great event. I made top 8 with a non-mecha leader, which was, I think, a huge accomplishment for myself. And I know there was a lot of controversy at the end when I did get bounced, and you know, I've gotten so much messages and so much like people, you know, lending me like their support, if you will, like saying I was robbed of the win and stuff like that. But honestly, I have no hard feelings towards what happened at the end. You know, my opponent, I think his name is William. He's a really nice guy, and we were talking and stuff like that. We had a lot of fun, so I have no hard feelings towards him, the judges, or anything that happened. But I do want to thank all of you guys who sent me messages, you know, saying I was robbed and stuff like that, you know. So the hashtag justice for Danny was, honestly, that made me laugh. That was hilarious. But also, it's like, after beating Anthony in the top 16, I was riding a high that nothing was going to take me down from. You know, beating him was very satisfying, and I couldn't have asked for more. But yeah, so I have no hard feelings towards what happened, and it was a great event. But yeah, here's the deck. But quickly, before we get to the deck, I just want to make a quick shout out to my sponsors that made this trip all possible. We have MetaMats, who help us supply the jerseys, Ultimate Guard for sending us all this swag, and our super collectibles. Andrew, he helps pay for, he helps get our house for stuff like that, and our travels and all kind of stuff, and I couldn't do any of this stuff without them. And but yeah, here's the deck. Alright, so here's the deck. I'm using the deck builder on Shenron's Lair. It's a great way to make your decks online. You can keep them saved and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I use this one. I actually had to meet a lot of the Shenron Lair player, like Marcus, the one who created the site and stuff like that, and all of their players during this past weekend, and they're all great guys. So yeah, so here's the deck. So we start off with we'll start off with the black cards. The cards that aren't my red and yellow. It's the black and blue here. So I only ran 2 Foos, 4 Piccolos, and 3 Zenos. Now, with Goku's ability, when you take 2 life off the bat, you know, you obviously want to limit the bad draws you can get. So right now there's only 9 cards in the deck. Because normally I would love to play more black cards, but if you were to hit a black card to start the game, it feels pretty bad. So I only ran 2 Foos. Your Piccolos are just your staples for your combos, and then the Zenos is the combo piece. But yeah, so I have 9 of those. Now the main engine is the red stuff. We have your 4 Cabas to help you awaken. The Chain Attack Trunks, so the whole combo is Chain Attack Trunks into Zeno, reset the board, which is devastating for apes if you can pull it off, because once the apes build a board and they take all their life to do it, it's hard for them to rebuild that, so you can usually beat them right after. And against most decks, it's actually really good. If you can awaken your opponent, then Chain Attack into Zeno, they have to start with 5 random cards, and you can usually win the game off that because the 5 cards that you draw into are usually a lot better than them. Then we have your Topo for Negate, which is a really good negate card. It only costs 2 red when you're awakened. Now, the reason it's good with Goku is because a lot of times it's not as great in other decks, because usually on your turn you want to play all your energy, or not most of your energy, and you usually don't have 2 red up. Whereas Goku, he untaps 3 energy, so you usually untap 2 red and a yellow for Nimbus, and you're set for defense pretty good. Then the Gohan and Pans. Gohan's just one of the best red cards in the game. It's a lot of value off that. And I chose, so originally I had Further Destruction over Fearless Pan, but I liked Pan because, one, if you were able to get a turn off, like you played Topo on their turn, and then you chain attack into Fearless Pan, you now have 2 25k double strikes on the board for the turn, and Pan as a blocker. And blocker barrier is still something that's really relevant, especially so she can actually attack and cannot be Shigesh Goku comboed. You know, you can go all in with a Pan or your leader, and they don't get blown up by those combos, which is a really big thing right now. And then the last red card is your Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. It's great for this deck, one, because you can untap your energy to play it, but it basically acts as another super combo, another 10k combo, draw a card, and having 8 in your deck is pretty nice, especially one that you can search with Planet Vegeta. It's actually insane, especially when you're going for game. If you have Planet Vegeta, you can turn your Planet Vegeta into Unbreakable, so you can have another 10k combo boost plus draw a card, and it's a great way to finish out games with that. Then we go to yellow. So now the reason I chose yellow, because a lot of people have either mono red versions or a red blue version. I went a riskier build with the yellow, because if you go blue, obviously it's a bit safer, because then these blues aren't dead when you hit your blue energy, when you use your ability. But I went with a little bit more riskier. It's high risk, high reward, because the yellow cards are just so good. The reason you don't need to play blue is because, you know, Bulma replaces the Boos. Nimbus replaces the Whis, and Nimbus right now is probably a lot better than the Whis Coercion, because they can just end players' turns, especially if they attack with their leader first and you Nimbus. Yeah, Nimbus I think has become one of the best negates in the game. Now we have Bad Ring Laser. So Bad Ring Laser is I've always been up and down on Bad Ring Laser. However, in sets 1 and 2, it was hard to play Bad Ring Laser, or it was hard to splash any yellow cards into a deck that wasn't a yellow leader, because they didn't have access to too many good yellow cards. You know, if you're playing yellow, you have Cobolus, and that's a big reason you play yellow. But if you're playing another leader, it's hard to splash yellow because they didn't have too many good cards. But now that you have things like Bulma, Nimbus, Planet Vegeta, it makes playing Bad Ring a lot easier, because you have more yellows that are good enough to play, and you can pitch for the yellow stuff. But yeah, the next card was Planet Vegeta. It can basically search everything in your deck. It can search your Chain Attack combo piece. It can search your 10k combo. It can help you search for cows if you need to awaken, and it just searches for, yeah, it is just a great card. And now the last 3 cards I have, which I changed the last minute, which I'm kind of regretting I did, but there was no Opening Sun Goku and Crusher Ball. Now, I didn't think I needed no Opening Sun Goku as badly as I did, because a lot of times I felt in my locals a lot of people play a little bit more aggro, so it's like they either awaken me or at least hit me for 1 so I can cap it pretty easily. But here people were playing their decks not so aggressively, so I wasn't able to awaken as easily. But being able to do something like play Kaba, swing with Kaba, and then combo no Opening Sun Goku, so I basically take 2 life for 25k double strike, and I can awaken on that turn, is huge. It's a really big deal. I wish I played, although Crusher Ball wasn't a bad card, just Nimbus is like, it was situational. It's like the only time I ever used Crusher Ball is because I didn't need to Nimbus that turn. You know, they're only going to play 1 threat. Crusher Ball comes into play. That's fine. But a lot of times I would just have Nimbus because they would have a big board, and you would need to Nimbus over Crusher Ball anyways. Or Crusher Ball was just a discard card for Bad Ring or Nimbus. But having no Opening Sun Goku and Kaba to help myself awaken on turn 1 is actually a pretty big deal. Something I overlooked, which I kind of regretted. I think it would have helped me win a lot more games. I still did pretty well, but I think it would help me win some of the games I lost if I was able to awaken right away. But yeah, so that is the deck. I think it's actually going to be a really great post errata, like after Mecha gets errated. I think this deck will still be viable, but there are some decks out there that I'm afraid of for this deck. I actually enjoyed the matchup versus Veggies and Apes. It wasn't super hard, but it wasn't super easy or anything, but this deck could definitely still take them down. For non-Mecha decks, I believe this deck can take down most decks. So if you're looking for a deck post errata, definitely try this out. I'm gonna probably keep playing this, but I'm gonna tweak it a bit more, and then I'm obviously gonna try finding the counter to this deck, particularly because I think this deck is actually really powerful. But yeah, so this is the deck I took to San Jose ARG, top 8 500 players, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys.